Yo, what's up, gamers? I hope you guys are all having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude. Because today we're going to be talking about one of my personal favorite topics to rant on, and that is cryptocurrency scams. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about the whole Logan Paul Cryptozoo situation that just unfolded on YouTube. That's been pretty entertaining to say the least. But overall, man, I think this entire drama just really exemplifies everything I have a problem with when it comes to cryptocurrency, NFTs, and the people who are dumb enough to buy into them in the first place. But before we get into my entire rant on how crypto literally itself is nothing but a pyramid scheme from the top down, no pun intended, let's go ahead and run down what happened in this entire drama, dude. Basically, back when crypto and NFTs were still in like their boom phase, Logan Paul announced that he was making this NFT project called Cryptozoo, which was basically like some shitty Pokemon ripoff that used real animals, and you could like combine the animals to make animal hybrids, and you could trade the animals. The animals would generate a certain amount of Cryptozoo tokens. You could then take the tokens, buy more eggs, hatch more animals, rinse and repeat. The entire thing was really fucking stupid in my opinion. I mean, it was obviously just like a plain Pokemon ripoff, which I think Logan even admitted, and honestly, man, I don't know why anyone would have bought into this thing expecting anything other than to lose their fucking ass on it, like with any NFT or crypto project, but that's beside the point, man. The whole thing from the very beginning is just really pathetic in my opinion, and I think most people buying into this were expecting, hey, Logan Paul's name is attached to this. If I buy into it, we can pump the coin and then I can sell it for a profit, because let's be honest, bro, nobody buys into crypto and NFTs other than with the expectation to make money. That's the entire premise behind this entire industry. No one goes in with any other intention other than to get a fucking bag from this shit. So when Logan Paul's out here virtue signaling like, oh, my intention was never to make money, I just wanted to do something cool for my fans using blockchain, like whatever, bro. Nobody buys into that shit for a fucking second. And well, I'm not going to break down the whole turn of events. I would highly recommend go watch Coffeezilla's 3-part series. We watched it live on stream. Very fucking interesting. And basically what happened is Logan, which honestly, I'm gonna say this up front, I don't think Logan's a scammer in this situation. I think he's a fucking dumbass, but I don't think he's a scammer. I think the dude is absolutely fucking stupid. He hired the absolute worst people possible to work on this project, and he 100% has to hold accountability for that fact, because he was the leader of this team. He brought in the scammers that ripped off his fans and stole money from them, but he himself never took money from anyone, so I think that's a very key distinction to make here. Logan, I don't think is a scammer in any of this. I think he probably had the best of intentions going into it. Like, obviously he wanted to make money. Why does anyone start any business other than to make money? So that's kind of a given, but I don't think Logan was out here purposely trying to fuck over people. I think he's just an absolute idiot and brought the worst people onto this team as possible, because it turned out 3 of the people who were basically leads on the project ended up being complete pieces of shit with really shady past, criminal records, and they ended up stealing almost $10 million worth of money from people who bought into Cryptozoo. Imagine that, man. An NFT project that ends up with people losing fucking money. Never would have seen that shit coming. But yeah, I just want to make that clear. I don't think Logan is the scammer in this situation. He 100% needs to take accountability for allowing these other people to scam his fans, but he himself never engaged in what I would at least consider to be a scam or fucking over his fans. He's just insanely incompetent and should not be managing anything other than, well, I don't really know if he should be managing anything, because how the fuck did you bring these people on board, bro? And I think that's also backed up by the fact, because after Cryptozoo came out, he came out with like another NFT project, which was 100% legit, so I don't really see Logan as benefiting in any way, shape, or form. I mean, the dude literally makes millions of dollars performing in WWE and from his prime energy drink. Why would he benefit from maybe making a couple $100,000 off of a fucking crypto token? Like, it just doesn't really make sense. The only people that actually would benefit from ripping someone off are the people he brought onto the project, because it would be Logan's reputation that was ruined and not theirs, so they would get a couple $1,000,000 with basically no fucking backlash to themselves, because they could just go disappear into the fucking ether and nobody would fucking care, while as Logan, who's in the public light, has a bunch of other shit going on, would get caught with all the fucking backlash. So I just don't really see it as a realistic scenario that Logan was out here trying to scam people, but again, he 100% should have come out and taken accountability for these fucking scumbags he brought on board, which I think is his biggest sin in all of this, which the fact he didn't do that and like tried to act like he was the main victim in all of this is really fucking laughable.
How does it feel knowing that you couldn't speak up in time and now you look like this villain, and no disrespect, you look like a piece of shit to the people that are like, yo, fuck this guy sitting on millions of dollars, always trying to get attention, and now he doesn't give a fuck about us, so he's not gonna speak out about it until this other fucking dude's gonna speak out, and now this cocksucker is gonna talk now.
Great question.
Very good question.
The answer is fucking heartbreaking, George. I'll get emotional even speaking about it just now, right now, but this is what broke me.
So what I thought was going to be a short point turned out to be a long point, and, you know, to sum the shit up, is Logan a scammer? I don't think so. Is he a fucking dumbass who should have never been in charge of a project like this? Abso-fucking-lutely, because what happened is 100% his fault as the manager and owner of this project, and as the person who signed off on these people coming on board. But I do not think Logan was out here deliberately scamming his fans, and that's kind of my key takeaway from all of this. So again, go watch Coffeezilla's like 3-part series on this. I think it'll give you a lot of insight, and I think even in that video, like Coffeezilla says, like, Logan himself never sold the coin, so if Logan never sold the coin, he never took money from fans. So I think Logan's hands are clean of the scammer title, but of being a fucking dumbass, 100% guilty. But basically, after this whole 3-part series came out, you know, Logan had a pretty, I would say, decent response. I don't know, like, his first response, I didn't really have that big of an issue with. I think it pointed out some kind of interesting exemptions that Coffeezilla made, like, why did you hide the fucking identity of an ex-con fucking developer on the project? Like, I don't know, that was kind of sus to me. And then on top of that, the fact he like cropped one of the emails that he sent with Logan to like hide key information, like, again, that was just kind of deceptive in my opinion. So I thought those were interesting points that Logan brought up and kind of made me think like, hey, maybe there's something else to this shit. But then Logan went on impulsive and had probably one of the biggest fucking clown moments I think I've ever seen when it comes to anyone responding to YouTube drama on the fucking internet, because Logan literally made it sound like he was the one suffering mainly from all of this shit.
Great question.
Very good question.
The answer is fucking heartbreaking, George. I'll get emotional even speaking about it just now, right now, but this is what broke me. People relied on me to create a project, and when shit wasn't working out and I found out the extent of just how bad things were behind the scenes, I had to rely on my team. I crumbled internally, and the advice was, while actual legal process was going on because of criminal investigation taking place that Coffeezilla highlighted in his series, I had to stay silent. And for a fucking year, I'm hounding Jeff. How do we make this right? What's the status of the game?
But they
Where
don't
are
see
we
that.
at?
They don't see that. That's crazy.
The engineer stole the code, who was hired by a fucking con man, a guy that I found out to be a con man, a guy that I had trusted, not just a guy that I had trusted, a guy that billionaires had trusted, a guy that fooled the Mormon Church and the New York Yankees. And now in hindsight, 1 + 1 = fucking 2. I get that. And the advisor, again, that I trusted, was selling against my buyers, people that actually wanted to play this game. It was like a mountain. It was like a mountain that collapsed one after the other. This massive forest fire would come up. I thought we put it out, and then something else would happen, and something else would happen, and then my legal team goes, yo, there is criminal investigation going on. It is best to stay silent at this moment. You know how adamant I was about fixing all of this and making this right.
Sure.
And for a year, I was told I couldn't say anything. And then Coffeezilla series came out, and I fucking called you guys, and I said, I'm making a statement. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I spent days writing this thing, figuring out how I could poke the obvious holes in Coffeezilla's defamation and arguments and manipulation of this story, because at the end of the day, he told a story. Some of it's true, some of it's not. I don't know what to believe from his stuff, and I don't know what not to believe. I found out stuff. I found out things watching his series
You know, this is where Logan lost me and made me kind of just realize, yeah, this dude's full of shit, bro. Like, you know, I already don't really like Logan that much. I think he turned into an absolute NPC. I support the current thing loser after he got canceled a while back for the whole Japan forest situation. So, you know, the dude walks on eggshells, has literally the most lukewarm takes on everything. And I think overall, he's just kind of a disingenuous piece of shit at this point. So, I mean, prime example, the whole controversy surrounding him, like literally saying that his best friend was a piece of shit for believing in a religion and basically attacking 90% of the world's population, just trying to score some woke points to prove that he's not homophobic. Like, the guy literally does not have the capacity of forming his own thoughts, I feel like. I feel like he's just constantly in a PR battle to keep himself from looking like a piece of shit, which funnily enough is exactly what made him look like a piece of shit in this entire situation. But I don't know, guys. If Logan would have come out and just said, hey, you know, Coffeezilla said in this video, I never sold the token. It was never my intention to scam people. I stand by the fact that I never scammed anyone. As you can see, I never sold the coins. Therefore, I took no money from people who bought into Cryptozoo, but I am responsible for bringing the people on board who did in fact scam everyone and tank this entire project. So I'm taking accountability for that. There's legal procedures going on against those people right now, which I can't really comment on, which is why I've been silent. But keep in mind, the project is being worked on. We got new developers. As you can see from my previous NFT project, which went off 100% legit, we have the process in place. We know what to do now. Things are in the works and we're trying to make this shit right, and we'll keep you updated when we can. But for now, I can't talk about it in depth because of what my lawyers have advised me to say. But again, I'm sorry. I take full responsibility for bringing these pieces of shit on board, and I apologize to anyone who lost money. Like, that would have been a completely different story, and I think in a week, Logan would have walked this shit off and no one would actually care about it, because let's face it, guys, the only people who were actually affected by this for the most part were a bunch of crypto bros, which I'm not going to feign sympathy for anyone who's dumb enough to think that investing in crypto is even a possibility. But on top of that is anything other than just like putting all your money on black at the fucking roulette table. Like, all of these people who lost money are what I would consider to be crypto gamblers. I mean, would you feel bad for someone who bets all of their life savings on a hand of blackjack and busts? Like, no, you wouldn't. They're a fucking dumbass degenerate who's wasting their money on something like gambling. And that's what all these people are doing when they buy into an NFT, a cryptocurrency, whatever you want to say. Anything on the blockchain, it's all a speculative asset, which is basically like gambling. You're betting that you're buying something at a price that is going to be lower than what it is in the future. You are expecting the price or betting on the price of that asset you're purchasing to go up in the future. That is what's at play here. There is no such thing as investing in a cryptocurrency. There's no such thing as investing in an NFT. They're speculative assets. Like, the best thing I can compare it to is like if I buy a fucking graded Pokemon card, for example, to which I have many. That is not investing. I may make money when I sell the card in the future because the value goes up, but I'm speculating on the fact that if I buy this card now, it's going to be worth more in the future, and therefore I'm going to realize a gain. That is called speculation, aka, you know, educated gambling, let's call it. Like, it's two of the same thing, and that's what's at play here with cryptocurrency. So it drives me fucking insane every single time I hear someone say, I was an investor in Cryptozoo. It's like, that just shows me how financially illiterate a lot of these people in the cryptocurrency space are. Because, you know, if you had half a fucking brain, you could look at any cryptocurrency, any NFT project, and see it as nothing other than a fucking pyramid scheme. Because literally what it is, you buy in at the low, then you hype it up, it gets higher, it gets higher, it gets higher, and it gets higher. So the people who bought in first make the most money, the people who bought in second make the second most money, people who bought in third make the third most amount of money, and so forth. And the people who buy it last are the ones who get fucked, because basically that is how cryptocurrency operates. The only reason why the value of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, of the Cryptozoo token goes up is because more people want that coin. So unless you have a continuous flow of increasing demand for a cryptocurrency, the price will never go up, which is what we're seeing with Bitcoin right now. It was all the way up to 60,000 at the peak of demand for Bitcoin and interest in Bitcoin. But now that nobody fucking wants to touch it, the price has remained pretty stagnant down around $16,000 because Bitcoin is solely a demand-driven asset. And unless people are constantly willing to put more money into it than you put into it, the price of that asset will never increase. So from the very fucking inception of cryptocurrency, NFTs, as an idea, it's all a pyramid scheme at the end of the today. So I just find this shit insanely laughable that anyone could ever claim to be a financial expert in any situation and claim that cryptocurrency is an investment. It's fucking not. So that's why I don't really feign sympathy for a lot of these people who lost money on this, because, you know, they were hoping they were going to be the ones who could buy the Cryptozoo token on the low and then resell it later for much higher than what they paid for it. That's the whole point you buy into cryptocurrency, NFTs, whatever it may be. People are only buying with the expectation that they're going to make money. That's it. I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't because of the game. It wasn't because they were genuinely interested in the project. It's because they wanted to make money from this shit. And I feel like a lot of people who feel burned in this entire thing are upset that basically the collectibles guru guy and the developer named Eddie beat them to the punch and made money before they could. Because I think realistically speaking, even if collectibles guru and that developer named Eddie did not sink this project so early, I think we would have seen a very similar trend over time anyway. I think the project would have followed the same downward trend, just like we've seen with almost every single other NFT and crypto project out there. So I don't think this was an avoidable scenario by any means, but Logan definitely swiftly its death by bringing on these absolute fucking scumbags, which I think he does need to have accountability for. But regardless of the scammers or not, I think we would have seen a very similar outcome regardless, just given the nature of how cryptocurrency and NFT projects operate as nothing more than a fucking pyramid scheme where people who buy in early typically cash out while everyone who buys in later gets stuck holding the fucking bag. And I think a lot of people were expecting to be the ones to cash out and instead got stuck holding the bag. And that's why there's so much, like, I guess, animosity surrounding this entire thing. Not to mention the fact that the project never actually got finished because you had that whole developer who fled the fucking country with the source code, holding it for ransom for $1 million. Like, the entire thing's fucking crazy. Go watch Coffeezilla's 3-part series on this shit. It's absolutely fucking entertaining. I really enjoyed it. And overall, man, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Logan has walked back a lot of his fucking claims now. He apparently called Coffeezilla and apologized and is dropping the lawsuit threat, and I think he's releasing another response video to this. So we'll have to see how that unfolds, but I think the main takeaway that everyone should walk away with from this entire situation is if you are buying crypto with anything other than the expectation of gambling your money away, just don't fucking buy into it. You're not investing. You're not buying something that has an actual utility. You're literally buying something that's value is derived from hype alone. And once that hype dies out, you're fucking stuck with an asset that literally has no utility, no real world value, and your money will fucking evaporate just as fast as you put it into it. So, you know what? I think the main thing everybody should just do is just avoid crypto unless you're fully prepared to lose every fucking cent you put into it. I think that's probably the safest way to approach it. And overall, I think there's not really anyone who's necessarily innocent in this entire situation. Like I mentioned, Logan may have not scammed people, but as the leader of this project, he definitely deserves the blame for allowing people on his team to scam his viewers and fans who bought into this project. So I don't know, man. The whole thing's really fucking messy. It'll be cool to see how Logan responds to this and how this entire series closes out. I think Coffeezilla is making his final response video to this entire thing after Logan, so we will have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best, and I really do appreciate it. So with that shit said, I will catch you guys next time.